Hi. Hello. I'm Marvin.
And I'm Rachel.
We're the Williamses from the
Williams.
Meant to Be podcast. And we're looking forward to doing this little interview with you guys. How did we first meet and what was happening in our lives at the time? Do you want to start? You want me to start?
You can start.
For me, we met online on dating app Hinge. The story goes, my best friends talked me into starting online dating, and when one recommended Hinge, I did a little bit of online dating with it, but then I stumbled across her page one day, and it was early in the day, but I was overwhelmed by work and kind of over online dating, so I was like, let me come back to this later. And when I came back to it, Hinge said, you and Ray are most compatible, so I was like, well, let's see what you guys know. So I sent her a like, and from the other side,
What?
and from,
I didn't know that was going to throw you off so bad. I was just getting
well, I don't want to like have that in the middle, you know, I want us to be like in it, and you just, and from the other side, she was also seeing my page at that exact same time, saying that she wasn't going to send a like to me, but she would match if I sent her one. So it just happened to be at that exact same time. And when we put the story together, I said that it was meant to be, and here we are now. I know for me, I was not freshly living on my own, but I had my own apartment down in Orlando, wasn't doing too much. My job was pretty decent at the time. It was paying the bills and nothing crazy going on in my life. How about you?
So for me, okay. So for me, things were kind of actually going crazy in my life at that time. I just lost my grandfather, and he was a big patriarch in my family. I recently resigned from my job at the Hilton that I had for like 6-7 years, and I was a supervisor there in their banquets, and I wasn't getting compensated fairly, and so I ended up quitting my job, losing my grandfather, and my best friend Bree had texted me and was like, hey, me and my friends are going to Georgia. Like it was her and another friend, and she was like, we're going to Georgia for her birthday. Do you want to come with? And at that point, I was like, screw it. I have nothing else going on. I want to get out of this city because life was hitting me hard in that moment. And then on my way down, I was literally in the car, and I was starting to delete like all my apps, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, like all the dating apps. I just wanted like everybody to get away from me. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted to take that few days with my friends and just kind of like ignore everything else. And when I went on Hinge to deactivate my account, the first person that popped up was Marvin. And I don't know why, I just like had a feeling to scroll. And so as I was scrolling, I was like, okay, he's really cute. He dresses well. He like has really quirky comments. I was very into it. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to give it like 2 days. I literally put a timeline on it. I was like, 2 days. If this man specifically does not match with me, I am deleting the app and I'm not going back on for a while. And so in that moment, he sends me a like, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That is creepy. And then that's when I told him the story. I was like, dude, I was on your page as you sent me a like. And he was like, well, I guess it's just meant to be then. At the moment, I thought that was just such a corny line. I was like, oh my gosh, like he thinks he's so smooth. But ever since that day, we never stopped talking. Like we were constantly texting. So I think that was like the difference for me was I saw like he was putting in the effort. And at the time I was living in Ohio. I wasn't even near Florida. I had set my Hinge profile to Florida because I was moving there in a few months. So I was just like, why would I meet somebody in my hometown? So let me move. my dating profile to Florida and see what I get. And this is what I
My first honest thought about you after that interaction was this felt like it was something that could go somewhere. I know like I said, with online dating, I did a little bit of it and nothing was really going anywhere. But the fact that we were just constantly talking, it started off really well. And I was like, I didn't want it to end. And with you being in Ohio, that was like the first hurdle. But I knew your plan was to move to Florida. So that's why I was like, if I put in this effort now, it'll be worth it after this long distance is over. Because it was September at that point. So I think it was like 5, maybe 6 months, which isn't that long in the scheme of things. Because now we've been together like 4 years, and like that was a blink.
Yeah, literally. No, definitely. You definitely were somebody in my first interaction that I was like, oh, he's serious about like dating and talking. Like, even when you were like super busy with work, you would like shoot me a text and just be like, hey, I'm really busy, but I'm thinking about you. And that to me was like such a big thing, because not a lot of guys are like that. Like, you know, you would get the text at like 11 o'clock at night and they're like, oh, hey, sorry, today was super busy, but now I have time for you at 11 o'clock at night. Be for real. So when you would text me midday and just be like, listen, I'm busy, but at this time I'll be free, or hey, I'll reach back out to you, but I'm thinking about you. Have a good day. That small little thing meant the world to me. And you did that literally while I was on my trip in Georgia. You had texted me one day and I was going out. We were going to like the Georgia Aquarium and Coca-Cola World and all that. And you were like, hey, I'm really busy at work, thinking about you. I'll talk to you later. And I was like, oh. I loved it.
I realized that it was something serious when I like actually contemplated going up to Ohio to see you before the move. Because like I said, we matched online in September, and in October I was flying out to Ohio, and I hate flying. It's a real fear. I don't like the feeling, and I just feel like there should be some better way to make this work, but there isn't for now. So I booked the flight, went out there, and I stayed for like 2-3 days, and I ended up meeting your entire family and everything. Yeah. So that's what made me think this is actually gonna go somewhere, especially because I had a pretty good relationship with your family just in those 2-3 days.
Yeah, I think for me too, it was that trip. Like when I heard that you were like, hey, I'm gonna fly up to meet you in person, and like I'm fine meeting your family after only a month of talking long distance and on FaceTime, I was just like, oh wow, like not a lot of men would do that for me. And it was a big step. And I think especially when you first met my parents and like you had left, my parents immediately were like, don't mess this up, Rachel, that's our son-in-law. Like they immediately were like, that is my son-in-law. My dad, when he got your number, put in parentheses next to your name, some soon-to-be son-in-law. And I was like, y'all are crazy. We just met. It's only been a month. You guys don't know. And then I was like, oh, they knew. They knew.
That's what now.
I swear, they know. In one of our other podcast episodes, I had said how my mom clocked every single man I brought home. She was like, no. And then I brought you home and she was like, that one right there.
I think coming from different backgrounds, our like family dynamics are different, but also kind of not.
Yeah.
I know your family will like talk all the time, and that's not something that I like grew up having, but I think it's something that my family has now evolved into, which is a really great thing to see, knowing how we grew up. And there wasn't like distance, but there was something there that now isn't. So now we're seeing how everyone has grown and evolved. I think that's really great, and it's something that matches the way that your family goes, and something that I want our family to have when we have our kids.
I think too, for me, what is it? You're doing the coming from different backgrounds one?
Yes.
I think for me, with our different backgrounds, of course I see the differences in family dynamics, but I think what really was impactful for me growing up was like you know, one of my mom's best friends is Black, and her children are mixed, and they were raised around me like they're like my siblings. They're like family to me. They're close like blood. And so growing up, I personally didn't understand why people would be so like, how do I put that? Like segregated sometimes. Like, how do I say
You
that?
mean like culturally or like within the family?
Culturally. Like, cause like for me, how do I put that? Cause like I grew up with like Abby and Sammy and Kai, and so I never saw.
Segregated is the right word then.
Okay. But yeah, just growing up, like having close family friends that were mixed, like I never saw like what other people saw as like something to be like, I don't know how to put that. Did I just not say it? Just cut it out. I don't want it. If I can't get it straight, then just don't. I'll just say something else. Hold on. Because I don't want to say like I see color. Color is clearly there, you know. But I don't. I grew up like not seeing an issue, you know. I don't know how to put that in a way that doesn't sound like I have a Black friend. Like, you know, I don't want to be that person. How do I put that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the way you've been saying it, but it feels good.
Well, because I don't want to come across as that white person that was like, because I have a Black friend, everything's fine, you know?
Not that you have a Black friend, it's that you grew up around Black people, so like integrated, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's like literally, I think all of your friends are Black. You think you have like a couple of white friends.
But, okay. Okay, so cut all that. Okay. Is that okay?
Okay.
Cut all. I think for me as well, coming from like different backgrounds, I definitely can tell the difference within family dynamics and stuff, but like nothing was ever really too much of like a shock for me because one of my mom's best friends growing up is Black and her children are mixed, and so I always was raised with people that I looked to as siblings, as blood, and it kind of integrated me at a young age to, you know, not see, you know, things as like a big deal as other people might when it comes to like interracial couples or relationships.
I don't really think there's ever a moment where I realize we're from different worlds, but it works because I have white friends, I have Black friends, I have Spanish friends, and same with you. Like, it's never been like a separate thing where we don't really talk with other races, but I know that's what it's like for other people. So when it came to us, it wasn't like this foreign concept of being in an interracial relationship. Like, this isn't even my first interracial relationship. And I know you've only dated Black men. Yes, I know it's a funny word.
What's a funny word? I'm not laughing at that.
Interracial relationships.
That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm laughing at you saying you only dated Black men. I know.
Well, spade is spade. But I definitely think our individual qualities definitely strengthen the relationship, because I know I have my strengths and you have your strengths, and being able to come together as a couple and work on anything that we may be lacking, or just the little things to really get us there. Like, of course, it's just fine tuning. Like, nobody's perfect, but we come into the relationship as we are, and we work together to be who we want to be.
Yeah, and I think that for us, when it comes to our differences strengthening the relationship, I see it in like the small things. And I feel like every relationship, you know, has their strengths and weaknesses, interracial or not. And I definitely feel like our strengths come when it's an outside force coming at us, and we strengthen each other by helping each other grow from something outside trying to take us down. And so for me, that's like the beauty of it, is like we're able to kind of like help each other see from different sides and help bring that together in like a nice harmony to help each other grow in those situations, if that makes sense.
Right. So, what is something that your partner has taught you about love that you didn't know before? I definitely feel like in all of my past relationships, I've always been the one to put in effort. So,
Yeah.
being with you, I've learned that it's not always just on me. It's also great for a relationship to have your partner also make you feel wanted, cared for, loved, seen, all those good things.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that I didn't realize was possible before, because I thought it was always going to be on me. But now with you, like, I know there are times, like even today, like I was just on my way home and you're like, what do you want from Chick-fil-A? So it's like little things like there that make the big difference.
My gosh, you're so in my head. I was going to say the little things as well. The little thoughtful things that you do. I think same, because what's funny is on my end too, I felt like I was the person doing a lot of the effort in relationships. I felt like I constantly was the one that would I would get them something because I was thinking about them, but I really didn't get that in return. Like my last serious relationship before you was like the first one to ever buy me flowers. And I was 22 years old. 21, 22, and the only other person that bought me flowers was my dad. And even when I had a boyfriend at the time, I was like 19, and he handed me flowers, I found out my dad bought those flowers for me and gave them to him and was like, give these to my daughter. And I'm like, my dad should have hadn't even done that. He should have walked in empty-handed, and my dad should have given me the flowers, because he don't deserve to give me the flowers that my dad got me, clearly. So yeah, it's always like the little things that you do for me, that you put the time in. Like I come home and you do the dishes, or the trash is taken out, or the couch gets like a nice cleaning from all our freaking animal fur because we have a cat and a dog. So like just seeing those little things done like around the house, it's really just like taught me that like I don't have to put in everything to get like stuff. I get like a whole big thing now.
And I think that also reflects how we support each other in difficult and emotional seasons. I know there's times where like everyone says relationships are like 50-50, and like then there's the cliche that like it's not always that. Like sometimes someone has to give 100 or someone has to give like 20 because that's all they got. And we do make that work. So like let's say that I'm slacking or like something's happened in my life where I'm just down, I know you're like there taking care of me, and same thing goes for you if you're having like an emotionally heavy day. Maybe it's work, maybe it's the IVF stuff, or maybe just like it's a family member has passed away. Any of that kind of things, that's where we're able to not just pick up the slack, but just be there for the person when we need that.
Yeah, hold on. I feel like when we support each other during difficult and emotional seasons, I mean, definitely the first thing that comes to my mind is when you had lost your job and we lost our home, and we were just kind of couch surfing and living out of a storage unit and living on friends' couches, futons, living rooms. In that moment, that was something that was like really hard on the both of us, and it took a second for us to get back on our feet. But I think we as a couple never faltered. There were times, of course, where there would be, tension or anger or frustration or sadness or bitterness towards the job and everything. But at the end of the day, like, you can't change what had happened. You just can change your outlook and your mood. And I think when you and I always have that outlook of like, we'll figure it out. Like, we never go through a phase without saying, we're going to figure it out. Like, we are somehow going to make this happen. And if we want to make this happen, we will figure it out. Like, we were still coming out of a struggle, and I was invited to go to Paris Fashion Week and walk, and we just sat there and looked at each other and we were like, we'll figure it out. If we're meant to go and be there, then we're going to figure it out. And we were there, and we had a beautiful time. And when you had gotten your amazing new job, your jobs, like, we figured it out. We went through the tough parts. Where it goes into the next question of what makes your partner feel like home to you is, it's not the physical place that you're grounded in, it's the emotional, the spiritual, the physical, like being together with each other through anything. That's what home is like having you by my side, having you right there, always supporting me and me always supporting you. That's home and that's comfort, because even though we didn't have a home for a time, I still had you, and that's all that mattered to me in that moment.
Yeah, I know for like home, I genuinely don't remember life before you, and I don't want to experience life without you. I just feel like you are my person, and I look forward to every day that I get to spend with you, whether that's sitting around the house just watching TV, or we're going out to dinner, or we're going to Paris, or just whatever big or small thing we're doing. I look forward to it all. So that's what makes you feel like home.
No.
Like we just said, every couple does face challenges, and our biggest one was me losing my job. And I know that's something that happens to everybody, and some people are able to recover, some people aren't. I know me losing my job, that was the big hit to the income coming into the house. So we weren't able to afford to stay in our apartment, so we had to pack up everything, move back to Ohio to stay with your family for a little bit, and then we kind of roughed it out and came back down to Florida to stay with some friends on couches and stuff. And being able to come out on the other side of that is a strong thing that not everybody gets to do, but it's a blessing to say that we made it through. And it's been over a year since that happened.
Wow, yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, that happened in, well, no, it was longer than that. You lost your job in September of 2023.
God, crazy.
And so it had been, towards the end of September 2023 up until, when did you get your job at, Trader Joe's?
Well, I think that I was at Coolbreeze while we got here, right?
No, not September. When did my aunt pass away? That's when you lost your job. August?
I don't know.
I think she passed in August.
I know I'm going to.
Yeah, it'd been a minute. Go ahead.
What keeps me choosing you even on hard days is that even just on good days, I know marriage and relationships in general is choosing your person every day. So I just wake up and I know that my life is better with you than without you. So I don't go around looking at other girls or wondering what it would be like with them or what my life would be like without you. I just know that even when you make me mad or when you make me happy, I choose you because I don't want to choose anyone else or anything else.
It's so cute. No, I think the same thing. I think that on even the hardest days, like, I still know that you're trying your best. You're trying your hardest, and I acknowledge it and I see it, even if you don't think I do. I do. Because like you said, I don't see myself with anybody else. I don't want to see myself with anybody else. I don't want you to go anywhere. I don't want to lose you. And I know, like, something that we always say with each other is, like, the number one thing that will break us up is if one of us cheated on each other. Like, we automatically said, if one of us cheats, we're done. And I never have that thought to do that. He never has that thought to do that. So I know this is a forever thing. Like, it's not going anywhere. And that's the beauty of, like, the trust that I've been able to build with you, because I've been cheated on, I've been heartbroken, you've been cheated on, you've been heartbroken. And, like, I think when you come out of a situation like that, but you come out very mature and very, you grow more healthy out of it than unhealthy. And I had to, like, switch my brain to be like, not every person is going to be like that. And so for me, that's how I know to choose you on, like, even the hardest days is, like, you are a 1 in a million person who has treated me literally the best I've ever been treated in my entire life. And for me, that's, like, a sign of knowing that, like on our worst days, I'm still going to get treated the best I ever will. You don't yell, you don't raise your voice. Like, I have never been, yelled at by you, screamed at by you, and that softness, that kindness has been like a big help for me, because like I used to be yelled at, I used to be screamed at. And so having a partner that even when we're having a tough time can still sit there and calmly have a conversation, even if it's an argument, it's a calm argument. Or like sometimes, yeah, we'll get a little bit heated, a little bit more passionate, but it never gets to a point where we're blowing up on each other.
That was a crazy end to your sentence.
How do you want me to
It felt like
end
there was
it?
so much more. I just don't know what more there would be, but it
Exactly.
just felt like there was going to be more.
Do you want more?
I don't need more. It just felt like there was going to be more, but okay. So the next step in our relationship is family building, and I definitely think that was something that we talked about in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I know coming together, I have my dog, you had your cat, and coming together, they got along very well. And something that I've always wanted is kids. So trying to come together and figure that out, I think that's something we talked about very early, because that's something you have to talk about early on. If you guys aren't on the same page about that, then it's not something that you come to later on. If you don't figure it out in the beginning, then that problem doesn't go away.
Yeah, I think when we first started talking about building a family, it's kind of interesting because when we first got together, I think I had told you that I just like didn't want to have kids at first because I have some health issues that causes me to not really be able to carry a child or produce a child. So I just thought, and again, this is just all girl brain, but I just thought that like, oh, well, if I can't be a successful carrier, then how am I going to be a good mother? And I know that's like crazy to hear, but sometimes that's where the mind can take you and draw you, is like, you know, it put a fear in me that I was like, well, I don't ever want to get pregnant then, because I'm just super high risk and I don't want to chance that. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt the baby. So I think it's just best if I'm just not a mom at all. And when I met you, that was when it really clicked for me too, that it wasn't just that I didn't want to have kids. It was that I didn't want to have kids with the people I was with. I want to have kids with you because I see you as a great partner and I see you as a great father. And so it kind of like shifted something in me now where I'm like, I do want to have kids. And now I'm like at a point where I'm like trying so hard to make like the IVF and surrogacy process work and like afford and do all these things for it, because I was never in that place before. Like I was at a place where I was like, I'm fine if I never have kids. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, gosh, I wish I could carry my own children so that I could like have that with you. And so it's weird how like my mind has completely 180'd from where I was starting in the relationship to where I am now when it comes to like building a family together. And I'm like, now I can't wait to have kids with you. And now I can't wait to have a little baby. Like, and now that I'm at that point, and it's like, it's going to take us longer to get there. It's going to be more unconventional for us to get there. We are going to get a lot of comments about how we got there, good or bad. And so for me, it's just like, I feel like it was tricky at the beginning, but now we've really found our groove and like what we want and how we want to have a family.
Yeah, like you said, we get the good and the bad, but we know who we are, what our hearts are, and the people who know us, love us, care about us. So being able to take the bad comments and kind of letting it just roll off like water off a duck's back. But it is still tougher some days, some comments, depending on who they're coming from.
Yeah.
You do the best you can with what you have. And I know what we have is really good. So when that time does come for us to have kids, I know it will be great, but it's just going to take a little bit longer than we want to. And that's still okay. So being able to accept that has been something that's been a little bit difficult, but we know we're doing everything we can. We have our GoFundMe. We're saving so much money. I'm working super hard at my job to make sure that I'm hitting my numbers so I can get my bonuses and potential raises and things like that. But it's a lot of work, but I know it'll be worth it in the end when we have the little boy, little girl.
Yeah, I think for me, when processing the news about how parenthood will look differently for us than what society expects it to be is just, like you said, just making sure you don't take the comments of others who don't know you personally, the comments of others who don't understand your story, what you've been through, what you're going through, and what you have to go through. Because, you know, when things like this happen, you really have to be mentally and emotionally prepared, and I was not. You know, I always had been told, like, hey, because of your health conditions, you might not be suited to carry. It's not, you know, it's not like that it's not an option, but it's just, it would be harder for you. And then going to a fertility clinic and telling me that it would be hard for me to even get pregnant, and then it would be hard to even hold a successful pregnancy. That just was like the icing on the cake to really put it in a bow of like, you can't get pregnant. It's something that you kind of have to laugh through to stop you from crying, because it can be tough at times, but I know when I have someone as strong as him by my side, it's worth it in the end. And, you know, I feel like our children are going to definitely know that, like, we did all we could to have them here with us. And I think the experience has definitely helped us strengthen our relationship. It has taught us a lot of patience, because the financial side of it is a big struggle, and our partnership just continues to grow every day in the process. And you know, people have even come up to me and is like, oh, well, isn't the president doing something to like help with IVF? Isn't he doing? No. It's one of those things that like gets people to vote. And so when people are like, well, no, he did this, he did that, that's what you're seeing on like the outside. And on the inside, we're still getting told, hey, it's this X amount of dollars for you to do this X amount of dollars to do that, this X amount of dollars to do this. And when you see the numbers add up into the triple digits, or what is it, like 6, yeah. When you see the numbers get into like the 6 digits, you realize that they're not doing anything to help you. And it's one of those things that it's hard to process, that, you know, this world makes it really tough. The society makes it really tough to even allow for IVF and surrogacy. So when it comes to things like that, we really have to stay grounded in each other and focus. And like he said, same with me, my head is down at work. I'm grinding it out. I'm working hard so that I can put money back towards the goals that we need to reach when it comes to like affording all this stuff.
Now, the little things that my partner does that mean the most, I definitely think it's always going to be.
It's been dry.
Yeah, a little bit. Little things like coming home and seeing like if there was anything that we were working on that we like decided to leave it for another day, and that's been like taken care of. Like moving laundry from like the washer to the dryer while I was doing something else, or if I come home and like dinner is made and stuff like that. Because I know we try to cook together, but like if we come home from like a hard day's work, it's always great to see like, oh, dinner is just ready. But like even then, it's always just like, hey, I know you like this, so I brought you this, whether that's some kind of drink or a treat or just anything like that. I definitely think those are good moments. But I definitely think supporting each other in not necessarily a time of need, but just like even when you don't know you need it, like just like say you do nails and I'm like, oh, that's a really good set, or I'm sharing any of your modeling stuff, and it's little things like that that take like no effort, but I love to being able to do things like that for you.
It means a lot to me. It does. I think for me, yeah, like I said earlier, coming home and like dishes are done, trash is taken out, or even just like being like, hey, we're gonna go out tonight. Like, let's do a date night. Let's do a movie night. Let's do a gym night. Let's do yoga together. Like those random little things, like knowing that you still want to like treat me, do stuff with me, go out with me. almost like we're dating again. You know, I feel like we've been married. It'll be 3 years, February 26th. And I feel like sometimes I still feel like we're in that like honeymoon dating phase. And like I know 3 years is still an early marriage. I get it. We're still like in the honeymoon phase. But it feels like still early honeymoon phase because like I get to come home to an amazing partner and who still does all these little things to make me feel great. And I'm just like, oh my God, you like me? Me? Like, you want to take me on a date? You want to go on a walk with me? Like, what?
Oh my goodness. But yeah, like, not even just that. That's those little things. That's how we keep the love alive. Like, I do really enjoy spending time with you. So whenever you're like, I'm going to TJ Maxx or anything like that, do you want to come with? Yeah, if I'm not doing anything, I don't see why not. Like, of course I'll go with you. And then we'll just run errands. Maybe we'll grab something to eat or a drink or whatever. And just, I enjoy those things.
Are you answering the question to how do you keep the love alive in your everyday routine? Sex. Can we be honest? I'm sorry, this is a safe space.
Right.
Part of that is sex, just keeping the. But yeah, keeping things lively. Keeping things lively in the bedroom definitely helps keep, you know, the love alive in the everyday routine. And then the cute little texts, the cute little messages that like I be getting at work or you be getting at, like I'll send you at work and stuff. Like keeps things fun and lively.
Ditto. I feel like a perfect day is, I'm going to say we're both off from work. So let's say if it's a Sunday, maybe we sleep a decent amount, go to church. Maybe after that we'll do like a brunch, lunch kind of thing. We'll come home, we'll change into comfy clothes, watch TV or something, read our books, maybe go on a walk with Hunter or go to the gym and then just kind of like wind down with some dinner, maybe a treat or something like that.
A little sweet treat.
Yeah. And from there, we watch all the stuff that we've been sending each other all day and just really relax at the end of the night. I think that's a really perfect ordinary day.
Literally exactly what I was going to say. Bar for bar.
All right, looking ahead, I'm definitely most excited about us having a kid or two. I know that beginning part is going to be rough on like having newborn babies and navigating that, especially as first-time parents. But I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I have a great partner and a great support system here. So that's why I'm not like too worried about that. I just know in general, it's going to be this new realm that I have never navigated. And I know you haven't either. So I know figuring that out is going to be weird, but I think at the end, it'll be fun. Like we're going to make the most out of it, as weird as it's going to be to have this little creature that we created. I know it's going to be so cute and just really cuddly and lovable, and I think that's what's gonna make it all worth it.
Oh, for sure. I was a super cuddly baby, so if I don't have a super cuddly baby, I will cry. Yeah, I think that like I am most excited about having the child. Like I'm not necessarily too excited about this process with IVF and surrogacy, but I'm excited for the end goal, and so I'm trying to make the process just as exciting and just as optimistic as possible, because we still got to go through this process, so might as well make the most of it. So yeah, I think I'm excited to have a kid, which I never thought that I would even say, which makes me even more excited because it's something that like is something that I never thought was going to happen for me. And now that I see that light at the end of the tunnel, that it's going to happen for me, it makes me very excited. And to have it with such an amazing person, like that is what really makes it like the best thing ever. Like I've seen you with my nephews. I've got 4 nephews and their age ranges so much. And like seeing you with like the oldest ones that are in their teens and then like the youngest one that's still in the single digits, like little toddler, like I see the way you have like this range of being a good, fun person with the kids, or just being super caring and super like, you're just there for them. And that was like a big thing for me. I'm like, oh my goodness, like just seeing you interact with my nephews, I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, this is just like a little taste, a little sample platter of what I'm gonna get as like a father for my children. And I'm super excited for that.
I definitely think that ties into the kind of parents that I hope to be. I know I want to be a supportive parent. I want to be there for the kids, but I also want to be like a strong parent that'll like still discipline them, be able to teach them the right from wrong and how to navigate life, not just as like a black child, but a mixed child. So being able to teach them all that comes with what the world is like, but also being able to protect them from that as much as I can.
Yeah.
That's kind of the stuff that I hope I'm going to be able to do. I know that's going to be that other side of parenting that's going to be difficult, but it's something that I am mentally preparing myself for now, because I know when the time actually comes, that's when it's going to be like really tough on us, having to explain to kids how the world can be for them, but that it's not necessarily something to take personally, but figuring out how to just navigate the world as the child that you are, but know that it doesn't have a reflection on who you actually are.
Yeah, I think for me, the values that I want my future child to learn from life and our love story, I really hope one day that my child understands that they can come to me for anything, they can come to us for anything, that I don't want them to feel like they have to hide anything, relationally or personally. I want them to feel like it's a safe space, it's an open space to come to us when things happen in their life and they're growing and they're changing and they're falling in love, or they, have this idea of love. I want them to learn and understand what true love does look like, what true love feels like. I have been in some really bad relationships and treated very poorly. And unfortunately, I can't always protect my child from that, but I'd hope that I can navigate them through that, being as somebody who went through something like that, and to let them know that like, that's not what love is supposed to look like. Because I would fill my head and be like, well, this is apparently our love story. This is how our love is, not you and me, but like an ex of mine. And, and that's not what love looked like. And so I'd want them to know, like, love is very specific almost in the way you communicate, in the way that you are there for one another, in the way that you push each other to be better. So I want them to understand how somebody loves you is supposed to look like. And that's exactly what you have always done for me. And I personally had a great example with my parents too. My parents have been in love they've been married for 38 years. And even them, I still was with someone way longer than I should have. And after that relationship, I realized, no, I do need my love to look like what I'm seeing in front of me. So I think that I would love for them to kind of piggyback that off of you and me, off of my parents, and even your mom with her wife, like seeing how true love really looks like with each other. Like, I feel like we all have like pretty solid love stories together, which is amazing. And I want our kids to see that and know that like they're in a safe space to accept that love that they need.
Okay. That last one. So, describe my partner in 3 words. So I am going to say right, I'm going to say caring, and I'm going to say deaf. So D-E-E-T-H.
Depth.
Depth.
I was like, baby,
you may be deaf too. There's that.
Because I can't hear you for nothing sometimes. I'm sorry.
I'll be in the other room and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait until I get back over there and then I'm going to say it. But I know there's a lot of depth to you. So being able to have someone where I can actually like have those deep conversations and like really analyze things, that helps me a lot. And I know how much you care, not just for me, but for the world and like the people that you love. So that's something that I really appreciate. And when it comes to just being bright, I do think you're not just like smart, but I think you're like such a bright spot in this world, not just for me, but for so many people. And I think that's a really great quality for you to have.
Thank you. You wanna go out?
Oh my God.
So you took one of mine. So for yours, I would say you're caring, which you had given me as well. I would say that you're supportive, and I would say that you are a comedian. You are funny.
I am.
I know you were gonna say that. No, I think that like you are super supportive, not only with myself, but I see it within your family, your friends. You're there for people the minute they call you, the minute they text you. That also ties into like caring. Like you care for others so much. Like you have this way to be able to just kind of like be that person for people who are going through something. Like I feel like they usually come to you when something kind of like major or even something so little, but like you are just there to let them know that they're okay. And then funny, you already know you funny. You already know you a comedian. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's an obvious. If y'all haven't tuned into our podcast, you get to see his goofy side because you are a Scorpio, and when you first meet people, you're a little bit more reserved. You're paying attention, you listen, and then like when you're comfortable with somebody, you are hilarious. I can't even deny it. So I'm giving you your little credits, sprinkling it on there for you as a little cherry on top.
I'll take it. You're also funny. You do make me laugh all the time, so I will give you your credit where it's due.
Y'all know that.
What's something you admire about them that you don't say enough? I want to say like the brightness. I know I talk about like how much you care for your friends and like you're always there for them and all that, but I do think, like I said, you are a bright spot in so many people's lives, not just my own. I think probably a lot of your clients look forward to coming to see you and get their nails done. And I know we have the podcast. A lot of people really enjoy that and being able to listen to us and just ramble on. But I think our content is really fun and people are enjoying that. So I just think as a whole, I think you are a very fun thing that this world has going forward.
Thank you. I think something that I do not say enough, I think that it's you are always trying your best, and I appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. Even if sometimes it feels like it's going unnoticed, it's not unnoticed. I do see you. I see the attempts that you make because I sometimes cannot be, the easiest person to handle. I know that about myself, and the red hair don't lie. So I feel like you always try your best. You try to make me feel better. You try to come up with solutions. You try to come up with answers to help me in the moment. You try to make me feel better immediately. And that's what I feel like you always want. You always want me to like feel better in a moment that I'm not feeling okay. And like your first instinct is like, let me make her understand that it's okay. And so that's something that I really appreciate about you. And I don't tell you enough.
I think that kind of goes into the next thing, because I was going to say that everything is going to be okay. So I know life in general, it has its ups and downs, and there's so much unknown that we don't have control over. And I know that that's something that's very tough for you, having things be out of your control. But at the end of the day, when the day ends, as the pages turn, the rest is still unwritten and all that, I know things are going to work out because they absolutely have to, whether they want to or not. We're going to figure things out and it's all going to work. So whether that's life in general, our current apartment, our jobs, our kids, whatever it is, it's all going to be okay. And at the end of the day, we do have each other, so it all is going to be all right.
We really are the same person. Let me tell you, because that was almost almost exactly what I was going to say. That's the crazy thing, is that I literally found my exact person in a man. Take this essence and put it in a man, and this is what you got. We think the same. We say the same thing at the same time. Like, we are seriously, like, It's crazy. It's weird. But no, I think the same thing for you is like, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. Like we always tell each other, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna write it out. And we are persistent people. We are very confident and strong people who know what we want and we get what we want because we have each other and we always find a way in the end. And he's calling me.
I have like one more thing.
Yeah. And I know everything's gonna be okay in the end. And I truly believe that because as long as I have you by my side, everything's gonna be okay.
Our story is proof that love isn't defined by color, culture, or convention. It's defined by commitment, compassion, and choosing each other every day. Keep it real. Keep it kind. Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you for having us there.